And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. Zechariah 12 and 9. I was just about to turn in for the evening and was watching the events transpire over in Ireland. And this scripture came to mind. They are not happy campers over there, the Irish, but the Irish nationalists, along with the Spanish nationalists, are getting a bit of a wake-up call. They have been vehemently on the side of the quote-unquote the Palestinians, the poor Palestinians. And now they are reaping the reward of that. What's happening in their country is going to be one of those apocalyptic, meaning eye-opening moments that maybe, just maybe, they've been on the wrong side of this. I think this amount of time that they have been associated with the Catholic Church has clouded their judgment, clouded their vision as to what truth is. Now, this Thanksgiving evening, I am very grateful, humbly grateful for everyone who shows up here every single day, for the grace of God to have you in my life, that you can stand in the breach and make the difference. These platforms this last year have been catastrophically collapsing for a lot of us. And it is only by the grace of God through you that I have been able to continue doing this and making videos on a daily basis. So God bless every one of you. I have it set at the lowest allowable level for 99.999% of the videos over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. I get emails every week from Patreon saying, everybody has moved their minimum up to $3. You should too. Not going to do it. Lowest allowable level, $1 per month, even less than that if you sign up for an entire year, fully refundable, first 90 days, no questions asked, hundreds of videos going back years and years, never been seen on YouTube. There's a $5 level as well. God bless all of you guys for doing that. You don't have to. There's a handful over there for those folks as well. And of course, the $5 folks have access to all of the $1 videos as well. So God bless all of you. But for those of you who haven't seen this, maybe been watching football or took a nap, rioters clash with police, torch car after knife attack in Dublin. Now, we're going to cover this aspect of this today because I started to look into some things and I started to see a pattern with these, with the weapon of choice here. Now, Fox is reporting, it says, it's just a small group of hooligans. It's not. They tried to run that story out and it failed. It is now the number one trending thing over on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I'm banned from it, but I have an account I can look at in what they call read-only mode. I can't interact. So I can see what's going on. I just can't like or dislike. Now, who remembers the day after the unprovoked attack by the Gazan terrorists? This woman, this young Jewish woman up in Detroit, who was trying to bridge the gap between the Jewish community, her community, and the Islamic community there up in Detroit and Dearborn. They found her the day after on her front lawn, stabbed to death. They said, it's not related to anything like that. We don't have any evidence. And then they said they had somebody that they were going to, a person of interest, that they detained, and then they let them go, and they have nobody else. And nobody has said a word. Now, what does that have to do with anything? Well, this young woman in Ireland was stabbed 11 times in the neck very recently by an immigrant, an Algerian immigrant, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, he was a Slovak Romani, pardon me, Joseph Pushka. And this guy was absolutely horrible. He's never once said he was sorry for doing it. They got him dead to rights on it. His wife and brothers tried to cover for him. They've been charged. He's doing life in prison. He's terrified they're going to actually put him into Gen Pop. He has a history in his native land. That's why he had to get kicked out of his native land and go to Ireland of this type of violent behavior. So they already had this steaming over in Ireland. And then there was this guy, another guy who just stabbed a random tourist in Dublin because his welfare got turned off. So we have 3 stabbings now going on a 4th. And just real quick, this isn't a one-off for the folks in Ireland. Asylum seeker accused of assault on girl while she played kick the can at Dublin Park, a guy named Brahim Madi. This is another Ireland attack. Nabil Habar, 38, Algerian national. Another type of certain assault that I'm not going to repeat here. Asylum seeker jailed for girls, you know what, and you know what. This goes all the way back to 2001, Algeria. Yet another one, Algeria. Man who was part of a violent gang carrying out targeted muggings during which expensive designer watches were ripped from victims' wrists. This is Court News, Ireland. Youssef Polani, jailed for life for murder of 2 women. Ireland. And when you look at this, the breakdown of the arrivals, it's a lot what we hear from our border. There's half it's single males, 17% single females, only 5% are couples, 28% families with children. So when you go through all this and you look at what's occurring around the world, I think we can probably make a stretch and say that what happened up in Detroit was likely tied to this spate of these types of events around the world using knives, because that's a very specific way to go after somebody. And it's definitely not the American way for sure, because according to the left, and they're always right, according to the left, because they're always right about everything, they never get anything wrong. America has a gun problem, it doesn't have a knife problem. So if there's a knife problem, it's probably been imported from somewhere. And when we look at Ireland and we see what's going on in Ireland, it might point to something that could maybe give us a clue. You see, here's the thing. If you don't know someone is stalking you, if you don't know someone is coming after you, even if you're concealed carrying, perfectly legal, and someone gets the jump on you and they get a knife out first and you don't know they're coming after you, it's not going to turn out well for you. I mean, unless they're incredibly incompetent, if they get 1, 2, 3 stabs in you before you have a chance to get your weapon out, if they come at you from a dark place or your blind spot or from behind, or if they're just bigger, stronger, faster. I'm not saying don't carry a weapon. I'm not saying that. It's just, I think a lot of people say, well, I feel safe because I'm carrying this or I'm carrying that. If you don't know who they are, where they're coming from, maybe there's more than one of them. You see, because that's, even if you got the jump on them and they had a buddy and you turned and you squared up on the guy who came at you and he put his hands up and said, okay, wait. And his buddy was behind you and you didn't see his buddy. 2 guys with knives will take out 1 guy with a gun any day. Just got to be smart about it. And that's, in the most recent attack over there, that's got Ireland all ready to burn down. It was a 5-year-old girl, a 6-year-old girl, full-grown man stabbed him. An Algerian. So, they're burning hotels, they're burning buses, they're burning lots and lots of things. So, in times like this, I always try to turn to the scriptures. And, we are given to have a spirit of peace, sound mind, but we're also sent out in the midst of serpents to be wise as serpents. Let me see if I can get the scripture right. As I send you out as, was it doves or lambs amongst serpents? That we're to be wise, and always kind of had our head on a swivel. I wish I would have brought that scripture up. When Jesus was talking to his disciples, I send you out amongst wolves as sheep, so be wise as serpents. I send you out as sheep amongst wolves, so be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Paraphrasing there, probably should have pulled the scripture up, but it just came to mind. So I will leave it there. Have a very happy Thanksgiving evening. Have a great week. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.